I think that they're both better. I know Bud had a terrific offseason physically, uh, playing the best ball I've ever seen him play. And then the addition of Grimble is really important to us. I think it could really help there. So, uh, like I said, I think we got some good players there, and we're developing some more guys that can be put in the games and function.
We were talking to your tight ends. Sorry we came in a little late. The Ohio State game that just got announced. How excited are you to go to Columbus and play the Buckeyes?
Well, like I said earlier, we've had games like this in our time here that have, I think, been very important to the program in a lot of ways. Kind of some defining times about who our team became. Even though they've all been pretty rough, we're looking forward to the next opportunity to win one in a stadium like that. I think it'll be a unique, great experience for our football team, and great for Beaver Nation.
Any trepidation with doing this not a home and home, with them not coming back here?
No, it's been kind of normal for us, really, and I really, frankly, don't worry too much about that. Schedules are all so far out, and it's like, the one thing you get home and home, and it hasn't happened so much with us, but a lot of times those teams buy out the second part of the home and home, so you better get the home game first.
Right. We mentioned we were talking to your tight ends. It seems like you've got 4 talented tight ends. How do you juggle that? Who gets reps and who gets onto the field?
Well, we're kind of a dinosaur a little bit. We continue to play tight ends. It's a really important part of our offense, and we can also focus on the people that are that are on our team at the time, and since we have those guys, that's become a focal point for us. And sometimes we'll play 1 tight end in the game, sometimes we'll play 2, and sometimes we'll play 3 at once. So I love the whole idea of having multiple tight ends, multiple formations, different run fits for the defense, and these guys, in order to be a good tight end, you have to be kind of that hybrid guy that is unusual almost. He's got to be able to block a defensive end and then run out in a pass route and beat a safety. And we are fortunate with the people we have. I love the group. So we hope, that is a curveball for us. That's what we can use those guys kind of interchangeably and with different numbers, and hopefully provide the defense with some problems.
You mentioned their blocking. How important is their blocking in your run game, which has been something I know you guys have been trying to get going for a few years?
Their blocking is, I guess, important enough to mention that they probably won't play if they can't block.
Yeah.
So they have to do both. And it's good for us is that we have willing guys. I think a lot of tight ends come into the college thinking themselves as just a wide receiver that's lined up a little bit tighter, and our guys have to have a little different mentality. They got to have a trench mentality a little bit, and then we'll get them the ball. Our tight ends caught like way more balls than any tight ends in the conference last year, so they're gonna get a fair share of the big picture.
Red zone. It seems like last year you guys went to your tight ends a lot when you got down in the red zone. Is this the most talented group that you've had in that aspect, and having big targets that it seemed like at times Sean could just throw it up there and then one of them, any of them would bring it down?
Historically, we've had good players at tight end way back to one of our first, in Tim Ewis, and I guess early on when we first got here it was Joe Kuykendall, and then when we came back it was Joe Newton, which was a great player. I don't think we've ever had the depth and talent that we have today.
Run through a couple of the new injuries, Storm and Harlow.
Storm has, he has always a back issue that tightens up once in a while, and that's what it was today, so he'll be back. And who is the other?
Harlow.
Harlow, just a little result. I don't want to call it a concussion. I don't think it was ever termed that, but the result of a collision yesterday, so we just held him out of it.
Is Isaac's progress, I think we talked about this a little yesterday, is Isaac's progress coming along? It's his boots off.
It's normal. Yeah. His progress is normal, right on time. No, which is what I hope for, right? No negative setbacks or anything like that. So I guess you would say it's positive because it's kind of where it is and it feels pretty good, and he can continue on to the next step in the process of rehab.
Is Dockery it's still his head?
Dockery, yes. Mm-hmm.
Did Trevor Romaine sit out practice today?
Yes.
What's his?
He had a tweak of injury right before we started practicing today, so we elected not to kick him today.
Can you talk about Jabril and his growth since last year?
Oh, Jabrel's one of my favorite stories on this team. He was not starting, and then DJ got hurt, and he went in and started and played well. And then DJ came back, Michael got hurt, and he went to the other side and played well. And he played so well that we couldn't have him as a backup this year. So we put him as a middle linebacker and DJ and Michael together. And now I think we formed as good a group in total as we've ever had. You know, and, we've always had good linebackers at Oregon State, but these guys together are pretty special.
Does he remind you of anybody that you've had in the past, or is he?
Oh, you know, I don't. It's hard to make comparisons like that. He is a smart, physical, engaged, great teammate. He's just kind of done it all through a lot of diligent work. I guess you could say he's a good athlete. He's got a lot of stuff to him that way. He's got great character, and he's been durable. So all those characteristics have allowed him to just get better.
And talking about Victor Bolden, Sean said, you know, he always was a fast guy, but now he's more of a total football player, knowledge of the game and all
Victor?
those things. Yeah, is that how you're seeing
I
his
really
development?
like Victor. I really miss him practicing. He's missed a long time, it feels like now, and we need him. He is definitely that guy coming out of last year that can do some of the things we need to do speed-wise at receiver. And we need to have more guys like him, frankly. And I think we got a couple here, but you know, we're wearing the little guy, the new guy out. Xavier is really, I'm excited about him. I like Dockery, but he's been out for a bit, and Victor's out. So the freshman is getting all of the work. So I feel good about it. And I feel like we're missing a lot of time in developing a position that these guys, half of them don't even know whether to turn right or left when they go out there. So
Is Victor's progress pretty positive at this point?
yeah, again, it's right on track.
Okay.
So and Victor Bolden is a diligent, good guy.
You guys went early. Right down the back.
Right down the back.
Is there specifically on Victor? What was, I may have missed
Hamstring.
that.